Welcome to another episode of Rallotech Sports Health and Fitness Podcast. Today is May 30th, 2024. Happy to announce that, in light of my situation, I still want to be able to send out positivity and just let anybody going through hardship knows, if you focus on things on a daily basis instead of the what ifs. Kind of want to piggyback on what I talked about last week. It is better for you to get through a day and conquer a day instead of focusing on, what if this happened or what if that happened, and so on and so forth. And just having conversation with people throughout the experience being in the NICU and taking care of my son. It's just overwhelming gratitude where I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful to know that in spite of my situation, things could have been much worse, and thankful every day I'm able to spend with my son and all the changes I've been, experiencing with him and how much he's been growing. So this one I'm kind of going to focus my son in the NICU, and then hopefully by June 1st, I should be able to give you guys another podcast focusing on my other kids, because you want to be there for all the kids in spite of what you're going through. So again, today I'm going to focus on the changes I've seen in my son, and even by tomorrow, which is May 31st, he should be kind of off CPAP again, and see his little fuzzy head. Boy still got a full head of hair and just growing each and every day. So that in itself, let me be very thankful to see, changing in his growth, and everything that comes with that. Oh, one little thing here, we realized that, being 36 weeks on Friday, May 31st, he's double and then some in his weight, and he's pushing closer to 6 pounds. And I can just tell you, I am overwhelmed to see the growth of my son. So for anybody out there that's not parents, I understand if this doesn't mean anything to you guys, but for me it means the world, because each day I watch him progress more and more, and just be thankful of everything that I've witnessed over the last 6 weeks. So it's been a month and a half since he's been born, and it's been probably almost 7 weeks for me since I've been in Calgary, but I'm just still thankful. I'm thankful for everything the nurse have done for him, everything that the doctors have done for him, everything that the dietitian have done for him, and learning new phrases along the way. So I'm just telling you right now, I have an attitude of gratitude continuing this next saga. So without a doubt, I'm just grateful. That's my one key word for today, grateful. Because I've talked to many other people that's been through ups and downs in the NICU, people that I've met even living at the Ronald McDonald House, to just talk about their different experience being in the NICU, or have a son or a daughter or in-law or somebody that's going through a tough time. And some days you can tell that they don't even want to talk. They're just depressed or feeling down or whatever they're going through. I can only imagine. So I am very grateful. I'm also very thankful that in spite of my situation, I'm still here, and I'm just putting positivity out there. So I'm telling you guys, I appreciate any of you guys listening and tuning in over the last how many weeks, what I've been going through. And sorry for weeks that I'm not able to put out podcasts, but those are my lowest moments. So I got to just take it one day at a time and try to grind through whatever experience I witnessed while being here. I'm thankful that I'm still standing, and I'm just still, putting positivity out there with everybody else that's going through a tough time. For me personally, how I deal with, my issues, in spite of what I'm going through, I go for walks. And if I can't go outside for a walk, and I'm in the hospital like I've been for the last, I'd say even 4.5 weeks, I've been in the hospital for 12 hours a day, I go for a walk in the stairwell. because I'm not outside enough, and we've been witnessing a lot of rain over the last couple of weeks because it's just that season. I go for a walk, and I walk probably about 12 flights of stairs. And if I don't do that 3 times a day, I do it 4 times. So on average, I'm getting my steps in, but I'm also clearing my mind and kind of like flushing out the negative thoughts. Anything that's like a what if this happened or what if that happened, I just go for a walk and clear my mind. And pretty soon, maybe by tomorrow, the weather is nice. There's a reservoir close to the hospital that my son is staying at. I might go walk around the reservoir, film some of the session, walking around and see, all there's a water boat there. There is like a dragon. I think they call it like a dragon boat that 6 or 7 people can sit in, and they use that for racing up and down the reservoir. So it's the part of the reservoir it's very active, and I've seen the water boat out already and a couple of those dragon speedboats out there, and people are just living their life and having fun because we're going into our summer months now. So snow has passed, and it's time to see people running outside and enjoying spring turning into summer. So you can't be mad at the season changing or stuff like that. In spite of what I'm going through, I'm thankful that I'm here and my son is getting better each and every day. So like I said, this one is focusing on gratitude. As much as you can show gratitude, you show those gratitude, because things could be worse, and you're thankful that you're here and you showed support as much as you can, and that's all I can ask for. So with that being said, what are some of the things I want to give gratitude for? I'm thankful that being here in Alberta, you're able to get in spite of the money in your pocket, and get proper health care, and you're able to give birth to a 30-month, I think he's 30 weeks at that point. So 30 weeks being born as a premature baby, and able to survive for the last 6 weeks with help, of course, of the tremendous work that the NICU at the Foothills have provided, and the help after 2 weeks when my son got transferred to the Rocky View General Hospital. It's just been amazing. So I'm thankful that we have that type of healthcare system, because as I said, I always talk to other parents that are going through the similar thing like I'm going through. And the one guy said to me, in the States, it is $10,000 a day. I don't know how accurate that is, but I could tell you that I will be in a lot of debt if I was in the States having a baby at this moment. And as I said, I don't know what the healthcare system is there, but I can only imagine. And on top of that, being in Calgary for the last month, and I'd say the last 7 weeks, it hasn't been easy, but I'm thankful for and grateful for the Ronald McDonald House being the place that we can stay at for the last, I'd say, 5 weeks, just shy of 5 weeks. And thankful to my cousin. My cousin was able to let me crash on his spear bed in his basement, and shout out to Devon, big up every time for that, because this is how I look at family should operate. Not only be like, oh, you're in town and I'm busy, but let me see when you can come and visit me. He helped me with open arms, and I'm very grateful for that. And even if my wife got discharged and was able to spend a night there, he would be still welcoming. So I shout out Devo and Amy. You guys are like amazing in my book. You guys are really amazing, because just imagine you being in a hotel for a month, or even for a week, or even for 2 weeks, even though you're an hour and away from your residence. It wouldn't be easy. And those guys were grateful enough to have us there and make sure that we're comfortable, and ask how my wife is doing after doing her emergency C-section. So you guys are amazing in my book, and really champion for us when we're going through a thing. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Devin and Amy. You guys are solid in my book. So that's even just a fraction of the things I can give thanks for. And shout out to my in-laws as well. They were willing enough to have our kids at their house and have them go into school, because their school was not far away from grandma and grandpa's house. And Mike and Anna has been supporting us in that fashion and making sure the kids go out and do chores. So, we don't have to worry about animals getting fed. These are all factors that I have to give thanks and be grateful that we have people like that in our corner, and they're able to help us in time of need. Because right now, if I was worried about the animal, I couldn't be taking care of Christine. I would have to be driving back and forth. There's just a barrage of different things that I'd have to go through. Another thing I want to give thanks for is our friend Bobby. Bobby has been one of our friends since, I think it was 2015 that we met. And without asking much questions, she heard that we're in the hospital and she reached out, and she's been helping us. I said to her, at this point, I can't even call her a friend anymore. Her and her husband, you guys are not friend in my book anymore. You're family. Because how I look at it and how I knew growing up, only family will rally for you like this in time of need. When you're in need and, needing help in all the aspect that we need help in the last couple of weeks, these guys have gone above and beyond and give us updates on how the animals are doing, how the house look, how things look around the property. If we call it a hobby farm, but we have animals there that need extra care, and they're more than willing to go there and help us out. So that in itself goes a long way. It might seem to some people like, oh well, it shouldn't be anything, but for us it means the world. Because if you don't have animals, you can't really relate. And I just know in the long run, it's going to be paying back a favor to them 10 times, 20 times, 50 times if needed. Because as I said, people like those in your corner, there's no money value on them. They're champions in your corner, and they'll always got your back. And I remember one post she put on Facebook. She said, me and Christine will take the last clothes off her back and give to a stranger, because that's just the right thing to do. And it's like, I don't know how else to put it, but it's like angels send these people in your life for a reason. They're God sent. And if that's not your belief, that's fine. But in our eyes, in our mind, they're God sent. And you can't ask for better friends than those. So without a shadow of a doubt, I'm very grateful for people like those in our life. And I'm very thankful that God sent them to be friends with us. Whether by coincidence or whatever, we're glad that we're friends with those guys. And we can't thank them enough for what they've done. And as I said many times, I've sent it by text, and I've sent it by saying it in words in person, because I've seen them recently. I am so grateful, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all you have done. And I have other people that reached out to us and checking on us. Cody, Darren, my Toronto Chargy, and many people have reached out and find out how we're doing and keep in touch, and I appreciate that. I have one of my article Jamaican, I call him my brother at this point. He always checking from the States, Mr. Cross, checking and find out how we're doing. Give me a call, even though we're, I think, a 2-hour difference. He'll give me a call and be like, "Cuz, you good?" More make sure it's everything balanced with you, and check in. And King Melo, same vibes, calling and checking on me each and every time that he has a chance to check in, because you have to think about it. People are living their life regardless of what we're going through. So I appreciate when these guys reach out. It means a lot, because it shows you when you're in a tight spot and people reach out and checking on you. It means a lot. I don't know about anybody else, but that to me means a lot, and it shows you where your friends are. I put it this way: when things are sweet, you'll see a lot of friends come around, our so-called friends. But when things are sour and you have people checking in on you, those are your real friends. And whoever want to take that personal, take it personal, but that's how I feel. And I can only live in my truth and speak in my truth. So all of those guys that I mentioned, Bobby, Bobby's husband, Darren, my charger from Toronto, Mike and Anna, and even tonight we had a family member that showed up and was able to meet her son. and she was amazing. She was like, hey, I brought you guys some food and visit for a couple hours. Like I said, people make that extra effort, take time out of their day to spend it with you, goes a long way. And that's why I said this one to me is more about the thankfulness of people reaching out and pouring into you and showing gratitude for that, because as I said, not many people take the time out and come and check up on you. Christine brother Michael is the same thing. He came, check on her, took her for coffee and visit with her, and I'm like, yeah, you guys just go, I'll take the kids to the skate park so they can have their one-on-one as a brother and sister. And you don't even know how much that means. Even as I said, even today, my own brother and sister-in-law called me and we chat for on the phone for like an hour, just chopping it up just to make sure that I'm doing okay, because most times a lot of people check in on the wife and damn sure they need to check. Sorry for my choice of words, but for sure you need to check in on the wife and make sure the wife is doing good, because she just gave birth 5 weeks ago, almost 6 weeks ago. But again, you still got to check in on the husband, because the husband might be silent and don't want to say anything because it's like, oh, it's all about my wife, nobody need to worry about me. But you still need to check in on the husband, make sure the mental state is good, because you never know what a man's going through if you don't talk to him. And I had various conversation with many fathers that I've met and mothers that I've met at being at the Ronald McDonald House, and it goes a long way just asking them, how's your day going? How's your baby doing? What's their progress? And it's not that you're being invasive, but you're asking genuinely to see how their days are going. How is their week going? How's the month going? What's the progress of their child in the hospital? Because it shows that somebody actually care. Somebody is reaching out to show that they care. They care about your well-being. And as I said, I have one friend that I've met at the Ronald McDonald House, and we almost text every day. And he's like, hey, when do you think you're free to go for a coffee? I'm like, I'll let you know, because my days are 12 hours here and you only have 24 hours in a day. So you need at least 8 to 9 hours to sleep. So in my mind, if I have a spare moment that we can go for a coffee for an hour or so, I'll go. But in my mind, these are people that actually care about your well-being. And if they're asking to spend some time with you, regardless and in spite of what they're going through, you make that time. And if it's a given day where Christine can be here and the kids are not in Calgary, then I'll go. I'll go for a coffee with him. I'll spend some time with him, because it shows that people actually care, and not everybody is callous to their life. And I don't have time to go for coffee with you. I have yoga this afternoon at 6, or whatever the case may be. You make time. If it's important enough, you make time, because that in itself can save a life. And even though a lot of people don't agree with this, but your mental health is your mental wealth. And if you have an abundance of that mental wealth to share with other people, so you don't see on the news that somebody off themselves because they thought that nobody else care about them and might as well just end their life right there and then, to me, that is worth more than money in the bank. Because I've heard of stories like that. Somebody shared this with me years ago, but they said this person was in their wedding and they didn't know that the person was going through a rough time. And sad to say, they went to his house because nobody was hearing from the person, and they found him dead. They found him hanging from the rafters. I can't give name because privacy reasons, but they found the person hanging from the rafter dead. And I've when I hear stories like that, it hurt me in the pit of my stomach, because it's like, if somebody actually took the time out and see how that person is doing, it could have saved their life. It's a woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it could have saved their life. And I tell people this all the time. Checking in, it doesn't take you spending money or driving somewhere to check in with somebody. A simple phone call could do. And it goes a long way for a lot of people. And even if you don't see it that way, that's fine. But as I said, have that spirit that, you know what, I haven't heard from this person in a long time. Even if I have to schedule a text for him in the morning so it's more appropriate time to text them, I'm going to text them and see how they're doing. And I've done that a handful of times. Even though I'm going through what I'm going through right now, I still reach out to people that I've met in the hospital here, people that I've met at the Ronald McDonald House, because to me, that goes a long way. And it doesn't take the shirt off my back. It doesn't take money out my pocket to do it. But I hope, anyways, it means something, me doing that for somebody, because I know what it does for me. So for me, I'm trying to pay it forward. And I just think that goes a long way. But the long and short of it, I'm still going through my storm. I'm still thankful that my son is doing better each and every day. And in each episode I send out, I am going to try to give updates, even if it's a short 30 seconds, 45 seconds to a minute. I'll give updates on progress until he's home. But each and every day, I'm taking it day by day. And when I know that my son is ready to go home, then I'll be grateful that that time has arrived. But right now, taking it day by day, and I can't rush anything. I just have to be thankful that he's doing great and he's getting the best care that I cannot provide to him right now. But I know for darn sure when he's home, he's going to even have the best care that a child that was prematurely born that can receive from both parents and even his siblings, because my kids are delighted to be around him and be able to hold him for the first time. And in my mind, that's worth money in the bank. It's like you won the lottery and you have $100 to $200 million in the bank. It gives me that feeling, and I'm not a millionaire. So that being said, this was episode 9. I am excited to bring you episode 10, because I'm going to have another video episode on the podcast where my kids are able to show me some of the tricks they've learned since going to the skate parks here, and hopefully I can surprise them with this park that I'm going to take them to, because I think it's called the Bicycle Pump Track Park in Calgary, in Inglewood. So I'm going to try to take them there and give you guys video footage of them doing all the tricks, and I might have to record the tricks 15 to 20, maybe even 50 times. But the key factor is they're going to have fun. So stay tuned. Hopefully you guys can give me some feedback on this one. Just sharing my journey, being in the NICU in the Rocky View General Hospital. And I welcome any comments, anything you'd like me to comment on with previous podcasts or future podcasts. I welcome any comments. And please stay tuned. I'm going to have some special guests on here. And the woman of, I think, episode 4 was my wife. I'm going to have her back on here, after the smoke and the storm has calmed and passed, and she's able to give you guys some update from her point of view. I'll have her on again, and some distinguished guests will be coming on to the podcast. I can't wait to have them on. But again, the lady of the hour will be on, my better half, to say the least, would be on one of the future podcasts, and I will keep you guys up to date. I thank you guys to tune in, and stay tuned for future episodes. Rallo out. Thank you.